Hey folks, welcome to North Knives. Today on the bench is this Cleaver and we're down to the handle shaping, so I'm going to get the blade taped up and get onto the belt grinder. Okay, so I'm taped up. Still have to be really careful, the tape's only really going to offer protection against small scratches and stuff. If I put the blade into the grinder in any way, then yeah, I'm gonna know about it. So careful now. First thing I'm gonna do is gonna grind these flat, both sides. Try and even them out. I'm not gonna take it down to its final thickness or anything. Just get them flat and even, and then I'll profile around the entire handle. So yeah, that's sort of phase 1 and 2. Okay, so I'll just show you what we've got now. Excuse me. This was all on a 40 grit belt. So I've got the profile is pretty much there. I do need to even out the sides a little bit more. So I will take just a little bit more off this side with that 40 grit belt, and then actually more of both sides, I think, get a bit thinner, and then yeah, then I'll be looking to get down to the final profile, finer and finer grits basically. Here we go. So I've done quite a lot more work there, although it won't appear to have changed much. But I have thinned out both sides a bit more. It's a bit more even. Still doesn't need to be perfect yet because I think I'm still going to reduce the width quite a lot. But I've cleaned up all these edges to like 120. I've left these sides all still at 40 grit. What I'm going to do now is put like these angles or bevels in all around, and then that's going to give me a better idea of how thick I actually want the blade, the handle, sorry. So yeah, I've got large wheel. I've got a about 17-18 degree angle set up, and I'm going to go around the whole blade. It's the same angle for this one on both sides, so I'll get that done. Okay, so what I've done there was I've put all these angles in. I started with 60 grit and then I went up to 180. So yeah, you have to go nice and slow on all of this really, handle shaping. Some wood are more susceptible than others, but you can really easily burn them. So yeah, really like the way that's looking. Proper feel it. I think. Oh, I don't know. See, the thing is, I actually really like a chunky knife handle, but I know that quite a lot of other people don't. So yeah, I'll have a decide. I'm not sure if I'm gonna thin that out or not. I probably will. Anyway, that's where we're up to. So Bailey's just had a quiet word with me and made his feelings known. Still being very patient, but yeah. I'm gonna have my coffee and then we're gonna have a walk, aren't we? Yeah? Hand sanding can wait. And he's making his feelings known too, but it's not his dinner time yet. Okay, so yeah, the animals have spoken. I'm going to drink this coffee and get Bailey out for a walk. Alston's still out. So this is how far I got. I did thin it out substantially actually, but it still feels fairly chunky. Feels good to me anyway. Just a second, Bailey. Yeah, so this is all finished up to 180 grit now off the belt grinder, and that's I'm going to finish there on the belt grinder and go hand sanding. And I'll probably start at 180 with the hand sanding. Maybe even drop down a grit to do in here. Yeah, so I'll get Bailey out. I'll be back in an hour, just over. So hopefully I'll have time to do all the hand sanding on the buffing of the handle. And I'll nearly be there then. I'll probably have to sharpen it tomorrow. So getting closer. So yeah, I'm having a laugh to myself now because I thought I had this handle design was my own original idea, but I just realised it's like it's almost perfectly this obelisk crystal thing that I must see every day. Anyway. So, I'm just going to set up hand sanding. I'm still absolutely creasing myself laughing about this obelisk design. I may as well have just drawn around the bloody thing at the beginning and save myself some time designing. Yeah, so yeah, I've got my girlfriend Iona to thank for this one design really, because it's hers. I've even almost matched the colour. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I will have an original thought one day. So I'm going to set up hand sanding. I've just remembered that this beautiful knife vice jig holder thing from Mike Palmer MP Custom. It's amazing, but I might have to ask him if he can make me a bigger one, because when I do cleavers, it's you can normally put the knife. A chef knife type design. I can normally put the knife right in like that and just have the handle out. You can also work it this way for doing various things, but with this cleaver with the wider blades, I can only use it this way, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, it would be nice to have one that I could use the way I normally use it, just because I like repetition. So yeah, I'm gonna get some sandpaper ready and get my tunes on, get in that hand sanding zone, and yeah, I'll probably just do a video of like one grit, because I just do the same thing over and over again, going through the grits, and I just use the rule, never double your grit. So if I'm at I start 180, then the next one I won't go to 400, say I'll go less, so 320 probably, and yeah, whatever really, just whatever you've got. I just never double the grit, and it seems to work out. Okay, so yeah, I'll get fully set up and get some hand sanding done. So here we are, I've got up to 320 hand sanding, and I've just gone around and cleaned up at the tang of the knife up to 400 grit. So yeah, I'll show you sand. I'm going to sand at 400 grit now. I know that's nowhere near double, but that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so I'm going to get my gear on. I do wear a mask, and I do wear ear defenders, but only because I've got Bluetooth, so I've got my music on. So yeah, I'll show you that. So just off camera, I've see if we can get good. I've just been rounding off these edges to make it comfortable to chop with, and I've also done the spine. It's the next day now, so it's Friday. I'm still at 400 grit on the rest of the handle. So now, yeah, I'm going to go up through the grits, 2,500 grit, and then I'll show you buffing it, and yeah, everything should be done then. I just need to sharpen it. Let's just get a quick look at that before I buff it. So that's hand sanded up to 2,500 grit. Looking really nice. Perfectly respectable finish, that I like that. But the grain and everything, the colour will pop a bit more if I buff it, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I'm ready to buff this knife. I've got 80 grit sandpaper, a stick, and I just use that for cleaning the wheel in case it gets dirty. I'll probably start with a quick clean, and then I've got white buffing compound, and this one's free from like animal products. So I'll just get my mask on, and having the knife would help, wouldn't it? I'll go and get the knife. Here. So I've got the buffing wheels facing away from me, so if the knife gets caught, hopefully it sort of throws it that way and kills my phone instead of me. But yeah, you have to be careful while you're doing this. So that's the handle now. Let's have a nice looking. I have just given it its first wash to get the buffing compound off. Has raised the grain slightly. This is stabilised wood. So doesn't feel bad, but I might sand again at 2,500 grit and give it another quick buff. So I've decided to raise the grain as much as possible and then sand it back at 2,500 grit and buff it again. So I've wet the handle and I've just left it wet actually and leave it dry. I've just done that once and I'm doing it again. I sand it 2,500 grit and then I think I'll just do that again, see if it raises, and then possibly sand again and keep checking basically until I'm happy to buff it again. Anyway, it's not actually raised badly or anything, it's kind of fine, but I'll keep going until it's perfect. Here we are, looking all shiny again. Feeling buttery, smooth, and lovely. And hopefully, yeah, it's going to stay that way for the customer for a long time. Yeah, so I raised the grain with water 3 times, or 3 sessions in total, and then sanded with 2,500 grit after each one. So that means I sanded it a total of 4 times with 2,500 grit, and then I buffed it again, so it's been buffed twice. But feeling really nice now, so I'll get this blade unwrapped and double check everything, but I should be able to sharpen it. So I'm going to sharpen with the Tormek, which you can hear just running away in the background. Yeah, I've got my vodka ready to go. So I'm not going to show every step here, probably. We'll see what I get time for. I just want to get this done actually. But 7-inch blade, so I try and get the jig in the middle approximately, and I've obviously taped the blade to try and avoid any scratching. And yeah, so swig of vodka and I can get on. I'm only joking, that's my water, but I don't know why I use that. So, next step, I'm going to set the angles, and I'm going to do this one at 15 degrees, and yeah, so let's get that done. So I've got my sharpening underway. I get a load of paper, basically, to set up with, and I'll just get like different thicknesses of paper. So my very first test will be like on a really thick piece of paper, and then I'll start refining the edge and start going down like thicknesses of paper, and that's just how I do it. I don't actually know if anyone else does it like that, but it works for me. So the Tormek's actually pretty cool. Like, you can get really consistent results. The learning curve's not crazy. Like, you will make mistakes at first, but you know, it's not ridiculous amount of time to start getting really nice results. So you can see me testing on paper there. So you'll see me grading like I just did them with the stone. So I keep I'm grading the wet stone with a different stone, and I think it's got two sides. I think one's 200 grit and I think the other side's 1000 grit, or thereabouts. So because it's not the same when you're just sharpening a knife, but when you put in the very first edge on a knife it's ever had, I've found that it helps if I keep grading the stone at 200 at the beginning and I keep grading it at 1000, because when you're working away on the knife, it actually ends up, the stone ends up, the circular round stone that you can see spinning ends up like quite, like the grit gets like it ends up really smooth, so it's not doing anything if you don't keep grading it. Anyway, now we're on honing the edge, and here we are, done. Here we go then. I am super happy with this, the way this one's come out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call this one the Obelisk Cleaver. Yeah, so it's just sharpened, so I get this nicely cleaned up and ready to go out. Thanks for watching. If you've followed this whole video through, thank you. Give us a like and subscribe if you want to see more content, and yeah, get in contact if you want a knife.